Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Homestead Miami Speedway for the grand finale of the Gladiator 165 right here on the Aussie Commentator channel for the Output Racing League. And yep, it's the granddaddy of them all, the championship race night. And it looks like everyone's just about starting to get ready for a pit party. And while they do that, we're going to have a quick little squiz at the points. Once the page loads, of course. And yep, I was a week behind on the points total there. So coming into this, Andrew Hennessy has an 18-point lead over Scott Rickard. So Scott could go back to back here. Austin Collins just 5 points adrift from Scott. And Thomas Harmon 8 points behind him with TJ Crampton 35 points off the lead. See, everyone's getting into that 2x2 formation. Somewhat. Just trying to sort out where they're going to go. Austin Collins on the front row with James Watson, both of them yet to set lap times. Got the 9 Joe Slammer, the 61, the Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook. The 94 Andrew Hennessy, the 38 Thomas Harmon. That's your front three rows. And they're off and racing for the pit party. We're hearing a lot of loose as both Cook, Watson, and even Kyle Kraus there all getting sideways into the first corner. Bit of havoc ensued. Those who knew what to expect kept on going. Gamble with the slide job on TJ Crampton there. Crampton pulling underneath him and getting the run into turn one. Kraus rejoins the field right there, coming out of the pits. They're full wide briefly on the back straight. Oh, and around goes the 05 of Scott Rickard. Look at the 13 of Travis Maciel with him. We currently have 23 people here and participating for the final race of the season. 33.99 is the strength of the field at this point in time. And qualifying is going to be very important around here. So is tyre conservation, as the 22 and the 21 both have dramas. The 22, Reggie Ortega, got loose, and Thad Faylor nowhere to go. See TJ Crampton currently sitting on top by just .008. Oh, the 94 has made a mistake. Andrew Hennessy, we don't see mistakes out of him, especially not at a track he likes. Hennessy actually currently sitting 4th in the practice standings so far. Homestead, one of the true ovals still left on the schedule. One of the only true mile-and-a-half ovals too. Most of them these days have the configuration that includes a tri-oval, but not Homestead. Originally a very flat track was Homestead, till they built the banking in it. There's a 38 Thomas Harmon. He's currently sitting in the 9th position. Normally a track where he does well. Seemingly just not looking the best at the moment. Travis Smasher actually up there in P8 as well. There's a fairly tight top 5 there. Everyone been separated by just over half a tenth. 0.067 of a second separating the top 5. Few people struggling to get lap times in. James Watson. Got Jack Sanders. Mike Pentecoff, Austin Collins, they're all struggling to really get fast laps in. Collins actually on a 10-lap run at the moment. He's just here in front of the 38 of Thomas Harmon. Harmon also on a long run with Jonathan Hernandez and Chris Champeau. I guess Pentecoff also on a bit of a run here as well. And Perkins. Not many people are really trying to look for that single lap pace at the moment by the looks of things. And time is ticking down very quickly here in the final practice session of the season. Side by side now. Was Austin and Thomas there for a brief second. Austin now going for the move on the 5 of Mark Pentecoff. Pulls off the inside move quite nicely, but Pentecoff fighting back on the outside. I think we'll see a bit of that throughout this race. And from what I'm hearing, we're going to be getting a competition caution. If we don't get a caution in the first 35 laps, we will get a competition caution. Such as how tight the fuel window is. Oh, contact between Collins and Harmon. This is our coming out of turn 2, right there in front of Mark Pentecoff. We just had another driver enter the fray. Andrew Griesbaum, the 24th participant in tonight's race. It brings the strength of field up to a 34.19. There's about 9 laps left here of practice now. Looks like Thomas has taken the advantage of these older tyre runners. And now it's just 4 minutes left. We've just been enjoying the sights and sounds of the final practice of the year. Coming out of the pits there was Andrew Griesbaum, ready to set his first lap time. See what he can do for the lap. And you know what? Let's ride on board his. Oh, that's not what I want. I'm gonna say on his nose. That's the one I want. Running a midline here. Transitioning down to the low line before sweeping up. Heavy traffic ahead of him with Hernandez, Champeau, and Pentacuff. Got all the speed and grip compared to these other cars. And his first lap there is good enough for 23rd. Funnily enough though, all cars are within a second of the fast time set by TJ Crampton. About 4 laps left in practice now. Griesbaum just moved himself up to 20th in the standings. Just ahead of Austin Collins, the man who was on screen. Close quarters combat here with Hernandez and Champeau. Thought they were almost going to make contact as they came out of turn 2. As Austin Collins is practicing a pit entry. Very smart thing to do, although it looks like he got it wrong. Oh, Pentacuff. Big time into the inside wall. That one was definitely a bell ringer. Brian Pizzakemi joins this little battle. With his much fresher tyres. Doing the 12 practice pit entries. Oh, and the 12, Champeau, sideways on entry. Just about sent it into the pit wall there. We're going to go to a commercial break now. When we come back, we will have the results of qualifying here from the final race of the season. Make sure you guys stay tuned. More action from the Gladiator 165 coming up shortly. Welcome back. Qualifying is just about to wrap up, as you can see. I can tell you now, our top 10 are all separated by less than a tenth of a second. That is absolutely nuts. As we get ready to get the grid up on the screen now. Starting from pole to 61, the Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook. P2 is going to be the 03 of TJ Crampton. P3 will be the 38 of Thomas Harmon, with P4 the 15 of Ken Campbell. P5 we will see the 94 of Andrew Hennessy, with P6 defending champion the 05 of Scott Rickard. P7 will be the 68 of Andrew Griesbaum, with P8 the 67 of Brian Chambliss. P9 will have the 22 of Reggie Ortega, with P10 the 12 of Chris Champeau, and they're all within a tenth of a second. P11 the 74 of Austin Collins, with P12 the 2 of Jonathan Hernandez. P11, 13, sorry, we'll have the 9 of Joe Slammer, with P14 the 7 of Kyle Kraus. P15 we'll have the 13 of Travis Massey, with P16 the 106 of Travis Barnes. P17 will be the 39 car of James Watson, with P18 the 5 of Mark Pensacough. P19 and the last car eligible for the Hard Charger Award, the 25 of Jack Sanders, with P20 the 51 of Matt Horton. P21 will be the 21 of Thad Faylor, with P22 the 97 of Andrew Perkins. P23, the final row, the 78 of Brian Pizzicami, and the 00 of Jonas Marquez, wrapping up the field. 110 laps to tackle this man-made hell known as the Homestead Miami Speedway. And this is the man on pole, the 61 of Corey Cook. On his outside is one of the championship hopefuls. But row number 3 with Hennessy and Rickard, they're both in the championship fight as well. Hennessy, of course, leading by 18 points coming into this. He could seal this championship up with a stage point victory. As they come out of turn 4 here, the pace car will make that hard left turn into pit lane. And then we'll get ready for the green flag here and the final race of the season, the Gladiator 160 or 165. And we are underway. And it's a great start from the outside line there with TJ Crampton. He will have the advantage going into turn 1 with 3 wide already for the lead, as Thomas Harmon pulls out to try and get a run up the inside of the Cookie Monster. As everyone's shuffling and sliding their way into position. And it looks like Harmon, deciding discretion is the better part of valor, drops back into third. But it's going to become second here as TJ, the only one in the outside line. Although he gets a nice run there off of turn 4. Maintains the second. Pulls to the inside to go for the lead. Andrew Hennessy challenging the 38 Thomas Harmon as well for third. And Crampton takes it with authority. Corey Cook will pull back out and he'll take another run at it. He goes in very deep there into turn 3. He'll slide back up and take the lead once more. But watch that 03 car, he might have a good run. As everyone seems to have single filed out here a little bit. And there he goes, down into turn 1. Making the move. Side by side, they're going to go. Just sneaking in front was the 03. And he blocked off that inside line so Corey Cook couldn't get underneath him again. And the 03 of TJ Cranton is going to lead the way. I don't think this battle is over yet, though. As Corey Cook already starting to fight back to him. Right to the outside wall goes the 03 of Cranton. And that momentum boost keeping him in front. Go see what's going on around the track. There's a 9 of Joe Slama. He's down in 13th. Now we're looking at Andrew Griesbaum. He's in P7. Let's see, he's got Ken Campbell ahead. He's got Chris Champeau behind. There's part of the nice little battle pack there. We've already ticked 6 laps in the books. There is a possibility for a caution here in this race. That's not competition caution. Because these trucks are an absolute knife edge around this track. Go back in to check on our leader because they're really close together on track once more. Andrew Hennessy, who has worked his way into third, starting to try and look for a run on the 2 leaders here. Down to the inside goes the Cookie Monster. He's going to start sliding up, but I'm not sure if he'll maintain it. No, he won't. The 03 powers back pass on the outside. Diving down to the inside, putting all the dirty air on the nose of the 61 truck. It's so cool just seeing everyone on the back straight like that. So filing out of 2, coming into turn 3. Travis Barnes is in the pits. Something's happened to Travis. I'm not sure what. Possibly something occurred on the opening lap. Let's see if we can see what befelled him. A lot of damage on the truck. He was battling there with the 13 of Travis Massier. Oh, he got a tap and into the fence. It did look like it was mostly netcode, which is unfortunate. But he's probably going to have a bit of a repair wait there. Go back up to our leader. And he's starting to pull out the gap a little bit to Corey Cook here. And that in turn is enticing the 94 of Andrew Hennessy to try and make a move on the Cookie Monster. Although Thomas Harmon trying to go for a move on both of them. Hennessy now going for the move on Corey Cook. Will he make it stick? Thomas Harmon trying to go with him. Cook railing that high line just nicely. And Hennessy just couldn't slide up in front. Cook now right on the tail of Crampton. They both run high in 1 and 2. Cook this time running the midline while Crampton ran low. An interesting little race we've got on our hands here in the top group. Here Cook goes now, trying to make the move once more. He's just strained far ahead of Crampton, goes very deep into the corner. Crampton fighting back now. He's going to do the over-under. We'll put him on the inside line for 1 and 2. And it looks like Hennessy also trying to get that move to stick. Couldn't quite get there. Files back in the third. It's only been TJ Crampton and Corey Cook here at the front of the field. But Hennessy is hunting. Crampton goes low this time. Trying to put some dirty air on the nose of Hennessy. He doesn't want the Cook, he wants to pass him, but he wants Hennessy to pass him even less. As Cook goes for the big send into turn 3, but Crampton got out of it a little bit earlier and pulled underneath him in the corner. Crampton led that lap. With 3 of the championship protagonists now in the top 4. 3 wide off of turn 2. Back down to single file before they got to 3. And Rickard is trying to make a move on Hennessy now. Couldn't quite get there. Top 4. Just throw your grandmother's dish rag over them. That's how close they all are. Gonna go 3 wide again, maybe? Nope. Crampton, too much momentum for the other 2. Oh, and Cook got the fence. It ruined his momentum. Now Hennessy gets in front of him. Hennessy do now? There's only 1 car separating him from the lead. Sends it in deep into turn 3. He's not going to get clear of Crampton just yet. Could be a little bit of tyre conservation going on for both of them. I don't know why, because if we don't get a caution before lap 35, we will get a competition caution on lap 35. Everyone should be sending it pretty hard still. Travis Barnes still in the pits, getting repairs done. And Hennessy was running the high line. He's got the momentum. He's going for the move. They pull down into turn 3 now. He's going to get clear of Crampton for the moment. But will he be able to hold it? That's the question. He slides up. Crampton slides down. Hennessy officially led that lap. Crampton fighting back on the inside line. Holding Hennessy up on the high line. Hennessy turns it underneath. And will he have the momentum to carry? Doesn't look like it. Crampton side drafting him aggressively here in turns 3 and 4. Side by side they go once more. Corey Cook gonna make it 3 wide for the lead. Hennessy going very deep under brakes there in the middle line. Slides up to the top. Looks like he's going to maintain the lead here. Crampton now going for another side job. Or at least sending it into turns 3 and 4. Going to be hard to get Hennessy here with him having a clear air in his nose. Travis Barnes is back out on the track. Hennessy already starting to open the gap. Let's have a quick look through the field here, see if we've got anything else going on. It looks like for the most part everyone else single filed out here a little bit. 78 battling with the 7. That's for 14th. 2 just about making a move on the 67. That one got pretty loose there coming out of 2. Corey Cook just trying to maintain his 3rd position there over Scott Rickard. Now he's going for the dive bomb move on the 03 of TJ Crampton. Crampton in the throttle pretty hard, trying to maintain position. Not going to get there though. As now back to the inside of Cook he goes. Rickard and Cook still battling there on for 3rd. Behind them, it's Campbell and Harmon battling it out for the 5th position. Corey Cook once more going very deep under brakes there into turn 3. This is actually quite the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th. Tennessee's built up nearly a full 2nd gap now. Campbell up the inside of all of them. He got a really good run there coming out of 2. And is he going to squeeze his way into 3rd? He will. how long will he hold onto it for? Here comes Scott Rickard once more. TJ will be seeing this in his mirror and he'll be thinking, yes, battle, do it. Campbell now trying to work over Crampton. At the same time, we see the 38, Thomas Harmon, trying to work over the 05 of Scott Rickard. Trying to take over the 4th position. Gamble's going for the move on the 03 of Crampton. He's got it temporarily. I say temporarily because normally that high line you can get a nice speed boost with the momentum and take the position back. That's exactly what Crampton does. But Campbell's going to hold it to his outside and maintain the 2nd position now. Now we are nearing the competition caution point. In fact, once they get to the line, it's just 2 more laps until the competition caution. And that's all in effort to try and stop this from being a fuel strategy race. Now started lap 35. The end of this lap is when the competition caution should come out. We did not have a caution in the first 35 laps. Now we just got to wait for the caution to be thrown. There it is. Oh, and Christian Post, something's happened. He's in the pits. Something happened to Chris here when the caution came out. Or is this his clever plan to try and get some track position? Oh, nothing was wrong. I think he was just trying to play the game there. But it doesn't look like it's worked out. He's trapped himself a lap down. Travis Barnes will with a lucky dog wave around. And everyone's going to come into the pits. For that, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we'll have more racing action coming for you very shortly. Welcome back to Gladiator 165 here from the Homestead Miami Speedway. And he came into the pits first and came out of the pits first. It's Andrew Hennessy. Ken Campbell is in P2. Cranton third, Scott Rickard fourth, and Thomas Harmon. That's your top five. And Chris Champeau, absolutely kicking himself for trying to time his pit stop with that caution. He was just behind your third place driver when he came out of the pits. So he's waiting for the wave around with Wanda Green. Travis Barnes got one of his laps back, so he's 17 laps down now. There it is, won the green. Looks like Hennessy's going to choose the inside line here for the restart. Having a look at some of the movers and shakers here. Let's see, Austin Collins, 11th to 8th. Joe Slammer, 13th to 9th. Matt Horton, 20th to 12th. Ron Pizzicami was right up there for a while. He's fallen back to 22nd now. So here we go, getting ready for the restart. Pace car will make that hard left turn into pit lane as they come out of turn 4. And here we go.
Go.
Goes very early in the restart box, catching everyone off guard. Swooping straight into the outside lane. Going to open up the door there for TJ Cranton to try and take over the second spot once more. And he will do so with gusto. We've gone 2 and 3 and sometimes 4 wide here on the back straight. Ken Campbell didn't get the best of restarts there. He's dropped back 1 to 3rd. Got a little melee behind Corey Cook. It's been led by the 9 of Joe Slama. Looks like they're going to go 3 wide. Slama, Griesbaum, and Ortega. Ortega riding that high line very nicely. In fact, he got around Cook and was challenging the 39 of Harmon. 38 of Harmon, sorry. 39 is Watson. Elementary, my dear Watson. Because there's a lot of moves being made here in the mid-pack. Let the go 5 of Scott Rickard starting to get a little bit racy here. He pulls to the inside of Campbell. Now the question is whether he'll be able to maintain it or not. Or whether he'll even be able to finish the move. And he won't, he'll stay there in 4th. Reggie Ortega, he had a massive restart there. Working his way out to 5th. He's now on the outside of Scott Rickard looking for 4th. And he's going to take it. As Scott Rickard now moves down to 5th. Look at Ortega go. Now he flies around the outside of Campbell. Frampton's going to look to the inside of Hennessy. And that gives all the dirty air to Ortega. While our 2 leaders go side by side out of turn 4. Frampton, the only one who couldn't slip into a position in line there. Ortega just looking the goods right now as he's gotten to the outside of Hennessy. He's going to be looking for the lead here as they go through turns 1 and 2. And it looks like Ortega's taken it from the 94 of Hennessy. He checked up the pack a little bit there going into 3. Frampton now starting to fall back to 4th as Hennessy goes for a big dive bomb into turn 1. Ortega trying to get the momentum back up, but Hennessy's going to cut that off. Ortega switching back to the inside very quickly. And he's going to return serve here to the 94. Back down to the inside goes Hennessy once more. Even though I'm pretty sure the championship is clinched for him, he still wants to try and get that win to cap off what has been a very, very good season for the 94 car. As they're about to go 3 wide for the lead, Hennessy pinching the ever-loving crust out of Ortega. Go 5 of Scott Rickard was right there. Didn't have the momentum to pull side by side with them, but he gave a big bump draft to Hennessy going down the front straight. Oh, there was a massive sideways moment for Hennessy. That opened the door up for Rickard on the outside line. Cranton trying to get the inside line now on 22. Ortega. Seems like a switch has been flipped here in this second part of the race. Everyone's just turning the aggressive right up. It looks like the inside line's starting to prevail for TJ Cranton in the 03 car. Keep chipping away at it long enough and it'll have enough grit that it does good things. It also didn't hurt that Rickard was trying to give him a little bit of draft there on the front straight ever so slightly. Rickard is going for his chance at the lead. Couldn't quite get there. As he come out of 4. Mostly the top 10 is, well, the top 5 is unchanged. Oh, in the background, I saw one going around. It's a 97, Andrew Perkins. What happened to Andrew here? Get a better angle of it. 3 wide, and he just had a tap there from, I think that's the 21 of Baylor. I don't think he realized they were 3 wide. It's come up and into the side of Thad. Although they probably weren't 3 wide, but they were close enough to it that Thad was probably just trying to make space for the 13. And that is the awkward part of the wall to hit too. The opening. And that puts Andrew Perkins into the pits. As we're now at the halfway point, 55 laps down, 55 laps to go. Just having a quick look through the field. We've got Jack Sanders here in the 25 car. Started 19th, currently in P16. And he is one who is on track for a Hard Charger Award nomination. Joe Slama would actually currently have it. Started in 13th, currently P6. Andrew Hennessy starting to build the gap here. Closest battle in this pack is the battle for 4th, or 3rd, 4th, and 5th, I should say. Between these 3. 22 of Ortega, the 03 of Cranton, and the 15 of Campbell. Brandon still just trying to work over that low line on Ortega. Having a look through the telemetry I got here, Corey Cook has the fastest lap of the race at the moment, the 33.331. The last fastest lap was done by Austin Collins at 34.0, oh sorry, 901. So some people just holding on to the 34-second bracket. Others have slipped into the 35s. It looks like TJ Crandon just couldn't quite get that move to stick. He's still going to keep trying it until it does. He might be waiting a little bit. Once more, trying to look for third. Dived it in deep. And he'll slide up in front of Ortega. Ortega will use the momentum. And he puts it into the tailgate of Crampton. Crampton now takes away the line of Ortega. And Cavill trying to do the same thing that Crampton did. And it looks like Perkins is OUT out of the race. Damage sustained from his spin, far too much for him to continue. That's going to move Travis Barnes up into the 23rd position. In due time, that is. We've got another 8 laps to get there. Let's have a look through the field here. There's a 25 and a 13 side by side. 61 is embroiled in a battle with the 67. 74 embroiled in battle with 2. And a 9 and a 38 having at it. Although Austin Collins now side by side with the 67 of Chambliss. Chambliss was probably just hating the fact that he couldn't do anything with the momentum he just had. As Thomas Harmon has worked his way into 7th. Corey Cook's going to try and get around Slammer as well now. This seems to be where the bulk of the battling is at the moment. It's right here at the coattails of the top 10. Well, that's someone swum into some alternate dimensions. That was the two of Hernandez just blinking in and out of existence. He's been trying to work over the 9 of Slama. Lap 69. Nice. Means at completion of which there'll be just 41 laps to go. Austin Collins giving a big bump draft here to Jonathan Hernandez going down the front straight, trying to give Jonathan the momentum to get around Slama. Hernandez can maintain position in front of Slama. He'll be the hard charger elect. Here goes Austin Collins now racing to the inside of the two. He'll take that position away. We've got someone in the pits. That's the 67 of Chambliss. Can pit and make it to the end from here. Maybe that's his plan. No pit now or forever hold your peace. He will have the tyre advantage over the field. As if it is just a regular pit stop. We've got another car coming in now. Jack Sanders has also gone a lap down. Chris Champeau is in. We'll probably start seeing a flurry of green flag stops here in a moment. That was a big move in the background. I think that was the 67 of Chambliss there on his fresh tyres. Moving and shaking and grooving and gyrating. As he's picking his way through the top of the field. Trying to get his lap back. Yeah, just in case we get a caution. He goes side by side in front of him. He's going to pick the middle. And he's going to just drive absolutely past both of them. Blew their doors off. Because, you know, you're only meant to blow the bloody doors off. Oh, and Thomas Harmon has gone around. Not sure what happened there to him. Did he just get loose, or was he... Oh, he got loose and then he had contact with the 67. That should have been a caution. And that's just hampered the race there for the 38 of Harmon. As Kyle Kraus has come in, so too has Mark Pentacuff. Harmon will go a lap down here and he'll be a fair way back from the pack. Oh, Reggie Ortega slides his way into pit lane. Thomas Harmon coming out of the pits. He's going to have a lot of clear air in front of him. So he'll be able to drive it hard for the next few laps and hope for the best. Two of Jonathan Hernandez staying out of the way of the lap traffic with the faster tyres. Harmon's back in the pits again. The damage to Harmon's car is a lot more than we thought. But they haven't gone this far on tyres before. Most people with 42 laps on them. And we've got more takers for the pits. We've got Collins, Hernandez, Griesbaum, Balor, Marquez. They're all coming into the pits. Oh, these guys are 3 wide with the lap car of Jack Sanders. That definitely did not work out for Crampton as he was racing with Cook. Reggie Ortega powers past him with his fresh tyres. James Watson is in. Surprised the 05 of Scott Rickard hasn't come in yet. For him to really have a shot at the championship here, he's got to pit a couple laps before the leader. And he's got to hope Hennessy's going to have a drama. There he is, as Hernandez goes around him. I think we are going to go for a quick break now. When we come back, we will be going to the checkered flag. So make sure you guys stay tuned. The rest of the racing action here from the Gladiator 165 will be coming up very shortly. All right, we're back live, and Hennessy has just completed his pit stop. Joe Slama came into the pits with him just a lap before Campbell, and I think it was Horton came into the pits. So this is Hennessy just trying to cover off from Campbell. Corey Cook has retaken the race lead temporarily. Oh, as there's contact, the 03, he's gone around. There's no caution. Again, another crash that should have been a caution. Andrew Griesbaum coming in on his fresher tyres. And he just came at the wrong time by the looks of things. Small tap. And around goes TJ Crampton. And with it, his chances of taking second in the championship standings. He is still continuing on though, but I would expect he would be pitting here very shortly to get repairs and change his tyres. Although he's kind of stuck there, as into the pits comes Pizzacami. No, he just got loose and around he went. Yeah, a little bit of drama here for the last race of the season. Corey Cook still has not pitted yet. Neither has Scott Rickard. I expect to see Crampton in this time. Scott Rickard is in now. Crampton is in. Now we only have, I think, 3 cars who have not pitted. That's Cook, Massier, and Pizzacami. Chambliss does have the temporary lead from Champeau, Ortega, Collins, and Hernandez. Hennessy on screen. He's down in P10 right now, which, corrected, is about P7. He's going to have a bit of work to do if he wants to get up the order here. Rickard's gone a lap down with Crampton by the looks of things. Rickard might have gotten speeding in the pits. Oh, and there was contact between Hennessy and Crampton. Did you see Crampton still carrying all that damage on the front of his car? I'm shocked that we've had 3 incidents that should have been cautions and cautions never materialized. Rickard all the way down in 19th after his pit stop. Corey Cook is in the pits. So it's just Massier and Pizzacami who are yet to pit. There is Hennessy, currently P7. Make that P6 as he gets around Austin Collins. Collins is going to make him work for it though. Tyre discrepancy here is 4 laps between the two. Collins with the older tyres. Pizzacami is in. Massier the only one to not pit yet. The 106 Travis Barnes there, looking pretty quick. He's got fresh tyres on the automobile as well. Amasia has pitted. So too is Andrew Griesbaum again. Not sure why Griesbaum is back in the pits. He's gone a lap down now. That puts your lead of the race with the 67 of Chambliss. He has 1.1 seconds over Ortega. Ortega, though, has about 6 lap pressure tyres. Hennessy's just worked his way into third. And he is coming quickly. There's less than a second between the top three. See him there, 3 wide behind. Back down to 2. As the 103 of Barnes is looking pretty quick. Griesbaum and Crampton are out. The Griesbaum might have had an issue. That is quite unfortunate, as Travis Barnes is going to unlap himself, and at the same time he's going to allow the 94 of Hennessy to take over the lead once more. Looks like Reggie Ortega is going to take over second. Ken Campbell's going to take over third. Barnes racing Hennessy really hard here. And Hennessy won't be liking this. As Chambliss has come back to the pits. Yeah, these tyres aren't good enough. Let's see if we can see what happened to Griesbaum here. Everything seems all right with his truck. I don't see any damage on it. Oh. Oh. Crampton wrecked him. Oh, and Griesbaum tried getting him as well. So both of them intent to wrecking there. That's what happened. So it's definitely drama here at the Homestead Miami Speedway to end off the season. That's the kind of rage that I would expect out of a short track like Martinsville. Not out of a true oval like Homestead. It wasn't even Griesbaum's fault that TJ went around. Was it? Can't remember. It might have been, actually. Travis Barnes, after racing with Hennessy hard, lets Hennessy back through. Just to race him again. He's trying to spice things up for your leader. There's 10 laps left in the Season 2 2024 here. The champion-elect on screen, Andrew Hennessy, as he's racing with the lap down car of Travis Barnes. And tell you what, Ken Campbell actually not that far behind. He's only got 1 lap older tyres than Hennessy. So if these two keep battling like this, Campbell could be back in the fight. Travis Barnes is probably going to end up with 21st out of this race. As he'll get around Crampton and Griesbaum. Hennessy just very comfortable right now. He's pulled the gap out to 1.5 seconds. We look at Mr. Hernandez, who's in 5th. Now we go to Scott Rickard, the 05. He's in 9th. He will not be a 2-time champion. Back to the two of Hernandez. He's sitting in P5. And there's the 15 of Ken Campbell. He just gets around the 5 of Mark Pentacuff. Campbell very solidly here in the 2nd place over Austin Collins. He's got 5 laps left in the race. Just letting the camera focus anywhere and everywhere for the moment. Chambliss is actually the first car 1 lap down, so if we were to get a late race caution here, Chambliss will be back on the lead lap. Chambliss, of course, does have fresher tyres than the entire field. I think the smallest gap there is 4 laps. That's Travis Massey of the 14-lap-old tyres. 9 of Slama is going to battle with Hernandez here for 5th. Hernandez just trying to rely on the momentum at the high line to stay ahead. Slama looking very quick. I think Slama has just slightly fresher tyres by about 4 laps than Hernandez. Oh, and Hernandez got a little bit squiggly there coming out of turn 4. Now we're going look at our leader, the 94 champion-elect Andrew Hennessy. Two laps left in the Season 2 2024 season. And it looks like he's got this one all wrapped up. Oh, and the caution's out. Travis Barnes is around. Just as I was starting to sing the praises of Hennessy, into turn 1, Travis Barnes. Like he gets loose and just loops it. Just going to watch it in real speed. There he goes. He just gets sideways and around it goes. Saw all the smoke. I thought maybe someone just blew up, but apparently not. as Barnes spins out of the action there. And now we will have a green-white checker finish for the season. And it looks like everyone's going to come in for a pit stop. Everyone's going to get them fresh tires. See if anyone stays out. If anyone was to stay out, it would probably be Chambliss. No, he comes in. Or does he? He trapped a lap down? No. He was nearly a lap down. Oh no, he was a lucky dog. So my apologies. Oh, and Corey Cook pulls a fast one. He's going to have the pole here for the what should be the final run of the season. Pentacuff, Barnes, and Harmon sitting behind the pace car. They'll probably all get wave rounds. Like Barnes is going to come into pit. He's got 21st. Nothing else matters for him. Now, the interesting thing will be, which lane will Corey Cook pick here for the restart? He only took 2. Everyone else took 4. He only took 2. Guess we'll find out here momentarily. Just weaving the truck, just scuffing up the tires a little bit. I would love if iRacing could introduce scuff tires. And you go out and run a practice lap or 2, and I had the ability to put the scuffs on. Anyway, we'll run the green. 2 lap cars will go around the field. Going to be Cook, Hennessy, Campbell, Collins, Ortega, Salama, Hernandez, Rickard, Champo, and Falor as your top 10. Kraus, Horton, Watson, Marquez, Sanders, Massio, Pizzicami, and Chambliss. Mark Pentacuff, that's your lead lap cars. Thomas Harmon, 2 laps down. Travis Barnes, 18 laps down. We've got Griesbaum, Crampton, and Perkins all OUT out of the race. This is the first attempt at a green-white checkered finish. If we get a caution before the white flag, we will go one more attempt at trying to end this race under green. If we get a caution in the second attempt, then that will be the race. Pace car, hopefully for the final time this year, will make that hard left turn into pit lane. It's all down to the restart zone, and Corey Cook goes immediately. Gets a huge jump over the rest of the field. Ken Campbell looking to the inside of Hennessy. Hennessy wanted to get down low, couldn't quite get there. And Campbell unable to take over second as he'll slide up and make sure he maintains third. A big block being thrown back in the pack. That was Jack Sanders, I think, blocking 78 of Pizzacami. 61 is holding on to it for now as they come out of turn 4. And it's going to be white flag, last lap, last chance to win it or wear it. No caution came out. Here goes Hennessy now, trying to make the move to the inside in turn 1. And Cook is going to hold onto his quarter panel, but he's not going to get there as Hennessy clean and clear into the lead. And there's a little bit of bumping and grinding going on in the mid-packs. But that's not going to matter as they come through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Corey Cook with a big desperation dive. But he's not going to get there. Your winner of the Gladiator 165 here at the Homestead Miami Speedway is going to be Andrew Hennessy. P2 just to the 15 of Ken Campbell. P3 to Corey Cook. There it is. Hennessy, Campbell, Cook, Collins, Ortega, Hernandez, Slammer, Champeau, Rickard, and Kraus. As we go over the page, there's Watson, Faylor, Pizzacami, Sanders, Masia, Horton, Chambliss, Marquez, Pensacuff, and Harmon. And we go over the page once more. There's Barnes, who was our last finisher, then Griezmann, Crabtree, and Perkins, who all DNF'd from the race. But congratulations, Andrew Hennessy, on not only taking home the win here tonight, but also taking home the championship. He's going to give us a big old burnout here to celebrate. There we go. That's what we like to see. Oh. And he's gone. Nope, there he is. He came back. All right, with that, we're going to take a quick break here. And when we come back, we'll have driver interviews. So make sure you guys stay tuned. Alrighty, it is now time for driver interviews. And as always, we kick things off with the Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award. And tonight's Hard Charger started in 11th and finishing in P4. It is the 74 of Mr. Austin Collins. Austin, normally you're up here for a top three interview. Tonight it's Hard Charger just off the podium. And what was a wacky and wild way to end the season here?
Yeah, it was definitely a heck of a race there. I looked down with about 10 laps to go and said, "Holy crap, I'm in third." Um, like I said, a lot of those guys have, excuse me, having issues. Um, uh, Pit stop, obviously, staying out here for long, or call it in a little instance or whatever. Surprised me. I was able to drive it though. I was able to sail really good after the cooking yellow there, and kind of was able to drive up past a lot of the guys that burnt their stuff up a little bit more, and pit stops came around, just pitted about halfway, and kind of took it a little bit harder. I tried to race Andrew and Ken there, and try to keep up with them, but they just had the fresher tires and they were a bit faster. And then we had the green light checkered there, which really made it interesting with Corey on two tires, and I about bent it going off into one. I got so loose, so it was. At the end of that, I was happy to just come home with four. So
Well, let's just talk about the shock of getting that late race caution. Obviously, Hennessy had just taken or just gotten across the line to start the two to go. What was it like for you just trying to reset yourself from being in long run mode to having to think about putting on tires, how many tires to put on, and just set yourself up for that what should be the last run of the race?
yeah, it's a different mindset you gotta get into. I was ready to get it over with. Like I said, I've been feeling under the weather a little bit, so I wasn't real thrilled with the yellow there. But like I said, everybody had to deal with it. So we strapped them on, four fresh tires on, and we were gonna go out there and try to put them on the wall if I could, anywhere I could get clean air, really. But it just didn't work out for me like I thought. Like I said, I got real loose going into one. I didn't expect like I had a good, great restart. I was pushing Andrew. Green flag came out, but going off into one, he turned left, and as soon as he turned left, I guess I don't know if I just overcorrected or what, but it took a hard left on me. I did everything I could not to wreck it there on the entry, so I got to shout out Joe there for not running me over right there.
Right now, let's just get what you think about the season as a whole. How do you think you went as far as the entire season goes?
I feel like I had pretty good speed all year. It was definitely my best year here at Output so far. I know last year was really really rough for me, but these trucks usually cater to my driving style for whatever reason. Usually, even though the new update, the new air model, and everything has kind of thrown me for a bit of a loop. But I was just in line with everybody else trying to chase Andrew all year. So I want to give a shout out to him for just being here and showing up every single week. And like I said, racing with fast guys will always just make you faster. So I've really enjoyed just trying to keep up with them, keep them in my peripherals at least.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, Austin, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, Corey, I'd like to shout out you for doing all the broadcasts. Like I said, it's always nice to go back and just watch how the race unfolds from a broadcast point of view. All the admins here at Output, um, all the teammates I had this season with Thomas, Jonathan, and Travis at AARP. Every single one of the drivers that shows up. Like I said, it's great racing here at Output. I always expect hard racing, but a very clean racing for the most part. Um, and then I'd also like to thank James Watson for allowing me to be a part of his Team Watson racing setups, racing their bad fast setups that they provide for us each and every week.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Austin. Congratulations on taking home the final hard charger of the year, and we look forward to seeing you again, season 1, 2025.
I'll be there, Corey.
All right, guys, that was the 74 Austin Collins, tonight's Autism Awareness Hard Charger Award winner. Coming up next, we're going to have our third place getter, and we don't get to talk to him very often. It's the other Corey in the field, of course. It is the 61 of the Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook. Corey, a bold strategy there for the green white checker, going with two tires, trying to take home that last ditch victory, but just fell that little bit short, falling back to third at the end.
Yeah, two tires worked out pretty well in terms of how much grip they had, but fortunately, Hennessy is just he's bad fast. It was tough to hold him off, and I did. No, I knew if I went to the bottom, he would go up tough. I went to the top, he would go bottom, get by me no matter what. He's just that good. Plus the four tires versus two, four tires going to win all the time.
Now, let's just talk about the race as a whole. You were up there towards the conversation for the majority of it, but the competition caution and then the green flag stops definitely threw a spanner into the works and just kind of mixed everything up a little bit.
Yeah. First run, I think a lot of us, we weren't really trying to save much. We knew that caution was going to come out, or at least then or before lap 35. So we were kind of just testing the water, see how far we can push it. And then from then on out, it was really just kind of save tires, try to keep as much pace as you can before you pit. I think some guys were trying to stretch it out. Some of them were saying they could make it. I'm not sure. We'll never figure out. Then obviously that green white checker, I just took two tires, and well, here we are.
Now, let's just get a self reflection upon yourself on how you think the season for yourself went as a whole. I mean, you did make it into the chase. Obviously, you had to miss that one race due to other obligations, but overall, not a bad season for you.
There was definitely ups and downs. I think there was a couple races. Just felt like I had a couple of DNFs this year. I'm not happy about that. But we did make it to the playoffs, a step up from last season. Um, my hope is next time I can make it at least a little bit more interesting in the last race instead of just racing for a win. I can race for a championship.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, Corey, anyone want to give a quick shout out to?
CCH Motorsports, the team that I'm on. We currently set up shops on the hood. Uh, we got some other sponsors. We don't have them on the cars yet. Hopefully, we get that figured out here shortly. But you for putting it on, and Output Racing as a whole, just for having us. Great long green flag run races here.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Corey. Congratulations on coming home with the final P3 of the season, and hopefully some better luck coming your way for the start of next season.
10-4 on that.
All right, guys, that was a 61. The Cookie Monster himself, Corey Cook, tonight's third place getter. Coming up next, we are going to have our second place getter, and he was definitely racing shirtless tonight, especially with that green-white checkered finish. It is, of course, the 15 of Mr. Ken Campbell. Ken,
What's up?
great finish here for the end of the season. How was it for you out there tonight?
It was good. So yeah, finished on a high note for sure. But I was really confused. So I came in, was really slow in practice, felt really stable, but then it was trending loose. And then I go and I look at my tire wear and I'm burning my right front off. So the whole race I was just kind of riding around, confused, trying to figure out what to do and see if I could change it up. And then finally on the last run, I'd kind of figured it out and had better tire wear. And then we get the green white checkered, and it's like, well, that's completely out the window. And was not expecting us to go green on the first one there on the first try.
Yeah, it was definitely pretty incredible that we went so long without a caution, especially fairly early. We had a couple of crashes that should have maybe been cautions, but the caution flag didn't fly. So it was definitely quite the good way for us to end off the season here with output.
Yeah, it was, and especially on that first run too. The multi-groove really shined. I felt like people were running high, mid, and low in that first run when I was kind of chilling back in sixth, and it looked like some really good battles going on. So I really like that we ended the season here because I felt like it put on some really good racing. And yeah, then when there were a couple of spins and it went down to the inside, so caution didn't fly and people got spread out, then it kind of turned into a tire race at that point. But especially that first run, I thought that was some really hard racing by the guys, and really enjoyed watching that from my vantage point.
Now let's just talk about just getting yourself set up for that green white checkered finish. Of course, you pitted a little bit later than everyone, did the hard yards to try and get back up towards the front, and then of course that late race caution comes out. You come out, and you're not on the front row because Corey Cook took two, and Andrew Hennessy's on the front row with him. What's the mindset for you going into that final green flag run?
Yeah, so I wanted to be aggressive, but for some reason, it's super loose on lap one here, especially on the outside line. But yeah, like lap two, you get tight, but lap one, it was like death in all of the practices. So I was like, okay, it's going to be really loose, and Corey took two, and he's going to be even looser. And so I really didn't know how that was going to go. I didn't know if he would fire off that well, and he did. And so then it was like, okay, I want to push it, but I'm kind of notorious for pushing it too hard on late race restarts up front and spinning and killing the entire field. So that was going through my mind as well. So I was like, okay, maybe if I can just hang back, Corey's going to go for it, take him out, or take Hennessy out, and then I can, just breeze to the win. And I thought that's what was going to happen on the second lap. Hennessy did a really good job getting around him to the outside, and I was going to follow him on the outside, and then I'm like, wait, I saw Corey go low entering three, and so I knew he was going to pull a slider, and I was like, it's going to be awesome either way, because either he's going to pull an amazing slider and win the race off of that, or he's going to door the shit out of him, and then I'm going to go under him and take the win. And he backed off, so it raced hard but respectfully, and we were able to get by him anyway. But yeah, I was getting excited when I saw him go low to get the slider going. So I was putting myself in position to be lucky, and just wasn't that lucky.
All right, now let's just look at your season as a whole. How do you think you ran this season? Of course, you're right up there for a little bit. Ultimately, just falling short of getting into the chase, but overall, still a fairly solid season for you.
Yeah, so I think that the refresh of the trucks really helped me. They were a little bit looser, harder to drive off, and it took guys a couple of races to figure that out. And so the first part of the season, I was lucky and I wasn't getting in the wrecks, but there were a lot of wrecks, and it was kind of frustrating there because I felt like I had a really good truck and was able to capitalize on that. But mid-season didn't really go my way. We cleaned up the racing a lot, and so I was like, okay, now's my time to shine. And then it just didn't really happen, and I was like, okay, and kind of went back to the drawing board on some stuff, and then unfortunately didn't make the playoffs. But then when we came to the playoffs, I felt like I kind of overperformed a little bit. I just kept doing what I was doing, kind of tweaks a couple of things here and there, and seemed to find some stuff that worked. And yeah, definitely just long run. That was what I was focusing on the entire time. I was like, I'm not going to have the short run speed, and I'd been trying to find that. So I was like, let me just back off and run my own race. And the long run kind of came in, and I think that's exactly what you saw at Rockingham and here tonight.
All right, now before we let you go here tonight, can anyone give a quick shout out to?
Yeah, as always, first and foremost, my wife Casey, kids Logan, Jet, and Easton support me in everything that I do, sim racing included. Teammates at Nuka-Cola, Kyle, Brian, and TJ. It's always fun running with those guys, and all the guys back in the shop at Storm Motorsports. Everybody in the league. I love running this league, just coming and having a good time. It's always a better time if you do well in the race, but even if you don't do well, it's still a great group of guys, and love coming and hanging out with them. Shout out to Hennessy for complete domination this season. I mean, there's nothing else you can say about the dude, but he's just insane. and I would like to learn what he's doing, but he's usually so damn far ahead of me that I can't see what he's doing. Everybody at Team Watson Racing Setups for their support. If you want to run open setups and not feel loose and burn your right front off at the same time, go check them out. Use Watspin39 for 10% off, and you up in the booth for another fantastic season.
All right, well, thank you very much for coming out, Ken. Congratulations on coming home P2 tonight and wrapping up 11th in the standings overall. And we look forward to seeing what we can do when we start up again next February.
All right, I appreciate it, man.
All right, guys, that was tonight's second place getter, the 15 of Ken Campbell. And always great to have him out there. Coming up next, we have the most dominant display of driving we've seen since Christian Budd. And of course, he loves the comparison every single time I do it. We need to get both of them on track to just do some one-on-one runoffs, I think. But your winner tonight and your winner for the entire season, your champion for Season 2 2024, of course, it is the 94 of Mr. Andrew Hennessy. Andrew, another absolutely dominant display tonight, but it didn't start out that way with you having a less than stellar qualifying effort.
Yeah, for some reason, I feel like this track is like the complete opposite for me for other tracks where usually I qualify good on other tracks and then I suck in the race or race pace. But I feel like this track, I always suck at qualifying, but I'm just a lot faster in the race. So it was fun having to pass a few cars to get up there and battling other people. I love this track. It's so much fun being able to run different lines like this.
Now, it was definitely a fun-looking race out there. A lot of multi-groove racing. You preferred the low line, I've noticed, but you could still make moves up high through the middle. It didn't really matter, and the green flag stops as well, just added an extra element to everything. What was it like just out there? Just running around with the pack, and the cheeky bit of contact that I've seen you have throughout that second run.
Yeah, it was very like when you're in traffic, the car was very tight. But if you got out in the clean air, it just became really loose. So I kept having to burn off I think other people were having a problem burning off the right front, and I was just murdering my right rear. It felt like I was on fire at the end, like the long run. So it's mostly just trying to balance that. I noticed the first run I was burning the right rear, so I tried adjusting a little bit and trying to put on the right front a little bit more. But I think it's just because I kept slipping. I slipped a few times, and every single time I slipped the right rear, it just kept heating it up more and more. So yeah. Also, I saw Travis's back bumper a lot. I don't know why he always just was in front of me as a lap car. I feel like I saw him for half the race.
I mean, he definitely provided you a little bit of fun there, and the ending, a few laps to that second run, battling you as if he was on the lead lap, battling for the lead. But ultimately,
a little bit with the spin.
yeah, I was gonna say he did bring out that caution by spinning pretty much right in front of you. So what was it like seeing that and then having to reset yourself from long run to trying to get it done with a green white checkered with the leader who took 2 on the pit stop?
Yeah, I figured I thought a couple more people would say two, like take 2 and just say screw it to try to win it. So I wasn't really shocked when I was shocked that only one person did it, and I was shocked actually how well he held up. I thought I'd be able to pass him in one lap, but it took me until the last lap in turn 1 to get by him, and he still had a good shot at it. I told him I wouldn't have minded if he like bumped me or put me in the wall a little bit. I think he was a little too nice to me in the last corner, but it was clean racing at least, and then it was fun coming to the line, and it was close.
All right, now what we've been getting everyone to do so far is just have a quick judgment over what you think with how your season went. Of course, you came home with the regular season championship and then obviously winning the chase as well. But how would you rate your season, and what are some of the highlights that you had here this season so far?
I thought it was pretty good. I don't know about you. I had a good time. But yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun racing with everybody. The beginning of the season was a little rough with all the cautions, but I felt like about halfway through the season we started having a lot of really good races. Like I feel like Rockingham last week was a lot of fun. Kansas, I had a really good time. Funny enough, I think my worst race it was Dega, and I had a really fun time in that. I don't know why, but I did. This this race obviously because I just love Homestead. It's like one of my favorite tracks. And I think Bristol too was fun just because of how hard the car was to drive. So I had a lot of fun races this season.
All
Yeah,
right.
that was at least I think I'm a little biased that was a good season, but
I mean, I would definitely say that you had a good season. In fact, I would probably describe it as a great season, considering all the winning you did and all the comparisons that I had to pull to you to, compare you with Christian Budd, who had the most dominant season we'd ever seen. But before we let you go here tonight, Andrew, who you got to thank to get you out there on the track?
Kevin James, he did it all. It was just him pulling the weight forward. But I want to thank everybody in the league for showing up every week, all the admins who put it on, and you for doing the broadcast every week.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming out. Hopefully, we see you again next February for the kickoff of Season 1 2025. And, I hope you stick around and enjoy a little bit of Winter Series shenanigans as well.
Yeah, that looks like fun. I might do a few weeks of that. Hopefully I'm not working until midnight those nights. So if I am, or if I'm not, I should say I'll be there probably.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you there, and we look forward to seeing you again in the new season.
Yep, thank you.
All right, guys. That was tonight's winner and your season champion, the 94 of Andrew Hennessy. That is going to wrap things up for us here tonight. Thank you so much for coming out for the entire season. It has been such an absolute cracking season. I've had a lot of fun personally, and it's just been really fun to watch. But until next February when we kick things off again, I've been your commentator, the Aussie Sim commentator. We'll see you guys in 2025.